Alright, next up here we're going to do a veneer on a guitar body. Got a lot of guys asking how to do this. Purchased this beautiful oak veneer in a one piece from veneersupplies.com. Purchased a number of my veneers from this guy. I'm going to use some cold pressed Tightbond glue. Do not use the water-based stuff. I'm going to cut out the shape to fit a Tele guitar body. We'll go ahead and apply the glue pretty thick here today. It's actually better with veneer to apply a little bit too much glue versus not enough. What'll happen is you'll get the piece of veneer to actually work out a little bit and it'll absorb that glue. This piece of veneer didn't actually need any straightening, so with the glue that I'm going to apply here, it'll loosen up that sheet of wood, so actually will go on the guitar body pretty nicely. So we'll get my roller here and we'll roll it on. A little bit too much glue, so I'll wipe some of that off. I'm gonna pull some of that off right there. Get the guitar body on. Make sure it sits properly, and then we'll go ahead and take this over to my veneer press. And I'll put some tinfoil on the bottom so it doesn't stick. We'll pull this off after about 24 hours, and you can see there's no wrinkles. Glue's though slightly wet after 24 hours, so we'll let this sit for another 3 days and let that glue dry out completely. And so here then we'll take some scissors and cut off where I've got too much. What's nice about Veneer Supplies is he's got a lot of large pieces, so this is a one piece, doesn't require any joining. Sometimes when you're doing some joining you get a little bit of a mess, so he's got some really beautiful pieces that are one piece. And then we'll take this over to my router and we'll trim up the edge. So I've got a top bearing bit here, and we'll just take this around and clean up that veneer. Got a nice clean edge ready to work with here. So on the back side we'll take this bit and route off that edge and get it nice and smooth. So use that round over bit and then some hand sanding to really get this body done. And then we'll take the StewMac binding bit, glue it on, scrape it off so it's flush. And then here's a little trick I've been starting to use, is actually route it a little bit thin and then take this bearing bit and clean up. And then what I'll do is go back with some sandpaper and actually sand. And if you use a high enough grit sandpaper, you won't actually scratch the binding, you'll just get it nice and clean. So then we'll just start going at it with 320 and we'll get up to 600 and we'll get that binding nice and clean, and you don't have to do this with the scraping. Sometimes when I've scraped in the past you actually scratch the binding and get some indentations. That's real pain. Here with sanding you don't get any scratches, you can pull out any scratches relatively easily. And on this I used just a little bit of glue and I got it to sit right. So then I'll take 320 and go over the top very lightly and just pull off any of the glue. And then here we'll clean up the top. And with veneer I always like to take some naphtha and just wipe on the top and see what it looks like. You see that beautiful figure. I'll be doing a fade with this top here coming up. Really some nice deep figuring. So with the right clamping you can actually get a really nice veneer top on a guitar body. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next vid.